learning about Scratch programming. But first, each time I put up a video, we will be learning a word. And the word for today is paraphernalia. Paraphernalia originated from Roman law and the origin is Greek. It means bride's property beyond her dowry. So yes, we learned a word today, paraphernalia. Now let's get back to coding. I started coding at 6 and I started with Scratch coding and it's fun. The only thing you need is a computer and internet. So yes, let's get started. So in today's class, you will start with what is Scratch programming, how to get registered to start using the platform, and after that, you will build a game like this. I call it the ball catching game. So when the ball touches the ball, the score changes by 1. And when you reach up to 100, the level also changes by 1 and you will start the game all over again. So yes, let's make the game. But first, let's look up the meaning of Scratch programming. So, Scratch is the world's largest coding community for children and a coding language with a simple visual interface that allows young people to create digital stories, games, and animation. Now that we know the meaning of Scratch programming, let's move to the next step. So you will go to the Google search bar and type www.scratch.mit.edu and you click enter. And then you go to the button join Scratch. So I will use the username grow with Denzel. And then you make up a password that you want. And you type it again. And if it doesn't match, you will go and you delete and you enter the password again. Now you click next. Then you go to the button select your country. I will click this and after you click your country, you'll click the next button. You will enter the month you were born and the year it happened. Then you enter your gender and you enter your email address. And you click get started. So when you get here, you will click on the create button. So as you can see here, this is the Scratch platform. We will start talking about it from the up sidebar. So this is the Scratch logo. This is the settings. This is where you can change your language. If you're not English, you could change your language to a different one. This is your file. You could make a new one. You could save it now. You could save a copy of it. You could load from your computer and you could save to your computer. Now the edit one. You can restore it if you've deleted a sprite. And you can turn on turbo mode. And here you can make the title of your project. So and here you might see the project page. And here, these are the tutorials. So if I'm done with the video and you want to check out more, you can go to any of the tutorials to start learning about Scratch. Now, this is your folder. You don't have to click it yet, but we can still go there also again. This is your name. So your username, any username you typed in, it will show here. And this is your profile, your stuff, your account settings, and you can sign out. So that's all for the top sidebar. So let's go to the sidebar. So here are your blocks. So the motion, it helps your Scratch sprite to move. You can go to the looks and you can look at every other one of these. So this is the motion, the looks, the sound, the events, the control, the sensing, the operators, the variables, and my blocks. And this shows that there are still more blocks. So let's go to the costumes. So the costumes is where you can edit and draw, and you can edit your sprites. You can draw anything you want here. Your sounds, you can make it faster, slower, louder, softer. You can even do robot mode. Now let's talk about the blocks. So this is the say hello function. It can make you edit your sprite. It can make you switch the costume. And it just edits about what you do in the costumes area. You can play sound for meow until it's done. You can stop all sounds. You could change the pitch. And this shows you that this is all about the sound. This is the event. One of the most important blocks of all. Because without this, you won't be able to run your code. It helps you to start your code in a more efficient way. This is your control. So if you're tired of making the motion blocks to do something all over and over again, you can do the repeat or forever. You can also use this, but we'll get to that later on. This is the sensing. Sensing helps you know if it's touching something. So imagine if you have two sprites here, and you can use this with the control, and it asks which is here, mouse pointer or edge. The operators is more like maths. So the math also works with other types of coding here. You can do this plus this minus this, and with something like this means you need to connect it to something. These are your variables. This is my variable. You can edit it. You can rename the variable. You can make a new one, and here you can make a list. Here, this is my make a block. So this is how you can do it. You can just type it, enter a block you want. I might enter start, and you click OK, and you have the block here. But let me tell you something. If you brought it out and you want to trade away, you need to first remove all uses of the block. So once you remove that, that is all. So now let's get started with the projects. So let's start building the game. So we will need to pick a backdrop. You click the button, choose a backdrop, and you will pick the blue sky. After that, you need to delete the cat because it isn't needed. So after that, you will now go to choose a sprite. You scroll down, and when you see the balls, stop and pick it because we need something for the balls to enter. And the ball is the best. So let's choose another sprite. We will need to choose the ball, and we will choose the ball. We duplicate, and then you change the color. And you can spread them up at the top so that it happens in the same way. You duplicate it over and over again, like 5 times. And once the balls reached up to 5, you stop and you start changing the colors. So this one turns pink. This one will turn to the color green. And this one will turn to the color purple. After we're done with all of that, we can now start making the code. First, we'll go to the bow and we go to the event button. So, as I told you that the event button is the most popular, you will click the when green flag clicked button. After that, you go to the forever, the control button. You click the forever, and you bring the forever like twice and put it in. Then you need to go to the motion. After that, you will bring out some coding that you will add later on. You will bring out the move 10 steps because that's the best way to move it. So you change it and you make a -10 in one of it. You go to the control, and if touching, you'll use that. So, tensing, I will go and pick the key space press button. We'll put it in, and we change the space to left. And when it's left, we will carry the move -10 steps and put it in. And then we will carry the key space again, and we'll put it in right mode. And after that, you'll put the move 10, and you can test it to see if it works. And yes, you've gotten your ball working. Now let's go to the balls. So on the ball 1, you still bring out when the green flag clicked again, and you go to the control and bring out forever. Once you're done with that, you bring the forever out again, and you go to the motion. Then you scroll down with the motion, and you set the Y to 180, and you put that at the top. So you also need a new button, and this is called to go to the random position. So when you're done with that, you put it on top of the set Y 180, and I'll show you why we need to do that. So it just goes random positions, and instead of that, it goes to one area at a time. So that's why we need to put it that way. Now let's make it to fall. You go to the change Y and you make it like -3. And you put it in. Now let's run the code. As you can see, the ball has started moving. So now that we're done with that ball, let's make the others. Instead of having to do everything all over again, you can carry the code and you carry it to where you want it to be. You put it in ball 2 and you can bring it to random places. When you're done with that, you will need to carry it again until every sprite is filled with the code. So if you check and one isn't there, that means it did enter. So we'll carry it again and we will put it in here. Now let's check everything. So right now, we can see some that don't have it. So let's carry it over there. Yes, so everything has it now. Now, the next step we need is to make a variable. So let's talk about the variables. So a variable is the amount of something you need for it to happen. So if it's touching it at this amount, the thing will change by 1. So let's rename the variable. And instead of 2, score. The score. We do that. And you will need to delete it because it isn't how it looks like before. Let's make a new variable and we'll make it a cloud variable. Very soon, you'll get to understand about that. Let's call it score. And now let's go. And now you can see a note. Please note, cloud variables only support numbers, not letters or symbols. Learn more. Let's just X that. And now we have our variable here. So let's put it in the bowl. You'll go to the control button and then you'll bring out the if touching 1. Then if it's touching at least balls, if it's touching the balls, then the balls need to go to a new one. So let's duplicate that. You delete that and carry it over here. And now we can delete it. Now you might see it here, and if you don't, you can go over and do it again. So you don't want it to work here because you want it to work somewhere else. So it isn't meant for the ball, it's meant for the ball. So let's open it in the ball now. We'll need to make a new one because it won't work in this. So we need the green flag clicked, the forever button, and you will also need if touching. Now you'll go to if it's touching the bowl. You can go down, you scroll to the bowl, you click it. You would change score by 1. And also that again. You will also go to random position and set Y to 180 degrees. So now, let's do it for all. We don't have to make it again. we can do what I showed you earlier. So we'll carry it. I will put it on the one we needed to. We put it there. And once you see a green light showing, it means that it has gone there. Let's scroll down. And we'll need to put it here and here. So is it here? Yes. Here? Yes. So everything has the score. Now we need to make a new variable. And this variable is also going to be a cloud variable. And after that, we'll call it the level. Once you're done with the level, you will need to make a walk. You need to make a code on the ball function. You go to if it's moved, and then you bring the sense in. Then you need to go to the operators. So as you can see, that's why I told you the operators need to be put into something. So I don't want it to be 50. We would want it to be 100. So if it's equal to 100, you go here and you bring the score. After that, you do change the level by 1 and you set the score to 0. If it shows level, it's okay. You could just change it to score. And now, let's test the game. So yes, the game has started working. Nice job with doing it. Yes, we just built a game today. I know it was long, but I hope you enjoyed today's class. Please tell your friends about my channel and don't forget to subscribe. And let's learn together and grow together. Bye!